Yesterday we did a review of the Liam Payne, TMZ Liam Payne's Who's to Blame, right? I played the little audio for you guys and kind of had a first time reaction in certain areas of this, you know, trash documentary. And to my surprise, because I was really surprised by this, I did not know that the UK was blocked from watching this documentary. I found that to be very interesting, right? Somebody put in my comments, which I think is a very valid point, a documentary of a British celebrity that can't be watched in his own country. It was intended to be this way to control the fans and hold off the backlash. The defamation of character is outrageous. Too much trouble going into pushing this narrative. I believe that this was all a setup. Liam Payne, a British celebrity, and the British fans cannot watch what TMZ is saying about their celebrity. Yeah, I mean, definitely. There's nothing there, y'all. Nothing to look at, nothing to think about, nothing to see. Okay, let's get into it. I got some clips that I really want to talk about. Here's an update. They're currently, right now, as we are speaking, there's supposed to be these Zoom calls with these individuals. Rogelio Notice doesn't have to testify in court, okay? According to some folks that are there, they're saying that Rogelio Notice refused to testify in court as his inquiry in court number 34. Sources in the case assured InfoBay. His defense stated via Zoom that he will present a brief in the upcoming days. Notice, who accompanied the former One Direction member on his trip through Buenos Aires that ultimately led to his death on October 16 when he fell. Okay, it's still up, in my opinion, to be determined. When he fell from the balcony of his room at the Casa Sur Hotel in Palermo, is accused by prosecutors and desmadres of the crimes of abandonment of a person followed by death and drug trafficking. So Rogelio Notice, as we speak, is basically, I'm not going to answer. I'll just send him a written essay of what I saw, which I would think would be like a testimony, right? And that's about that. He's really got no interest, right? What was so interesting is this, okay? Yesterday, at the very beginning of the documentary, when they interviewed Rogelio Notice, which is what they do, this is what they showed a clip, which we're about to show here, and I'm going to do my best to re-edit this so we don't get any copyright strikes. Of course, we're doing this under fair use. This is Harvey Levin. Ooh, Harvey Levin is looking very sharp nowadays, isn't he? Giving sweaty nights. Harvey Levin is giving sweaty nights, okay?
Just 3 days before his death. They say he went out looking for drugs and found them with the help of a waiter named BRAIAN PAIZ.
I mean, look at BRAIAN PAIZ. Literally, he's being shown here, showcase, whatever. It's interesting. And you know what's so interesting too? I'm also finding out as we are speaking this, because I'm getting news as I'm recording this, that BRAIAN PAIZ refused to testify in court. Ezequiel Pereira refused to testify in court. And Rogelio Notice did the same strategy today, refusing to answer questions to the court. So meanwhile, forensic examinations were conducted on his iPhone and computer during the raids at the Lula Miranda house on Guatemala Street. That's interesting. So all of these mother effers are refusing to testify. They ain't going to talk. They're not going to do anything. I guess they could just hand in a written, essay of their testimony. This is becoming such a circus, okay? We need to continue to talk about this. So for the people that are coming into my comments, because there's been a couple of you, and I promise you that typically I would respect your thoughts and opinions about certain things, but in this specific instance, please don't come into my comments talking about, please think of his family. This solves nothing and just makes YT channels money at the expense of Liam's death. Us exposing the truth is us exposing the truth. The fact that you don't like creators making money, do me a favor and don't watch, okay? But I promise you, the reporting that we're doing here on YouTube is nowhere like what TMZ is doing. They're not even touching the surface level. So the fact that you got a problem with anybody making money off of anything, which this is time consuming and work, by the way, just so y'all know, it is time consuming, and it takes hours upon hours to translate review documents, review interviews, put things up, upload and edit. So we should all be compensated. Please note that. But we're also doing our job in bringing awareness to something that people are trying to silence people about. Some of my videos on Liam Payne have been suppressed as well, just so you're aware. So please don't come over here giving me the speech of what I should and shouldn't talk about, all right? Because I promise you, I'm going much more above and beyond. A lot of YouTubers are going above and beyond.
Roger, how did you come to know Liam?
We met through friends in London 4 years ago, around 2020, and we were opposites. I'm like a boring person who doesn't drink, do drugs, I don't smoke, never tried a drug in my life.
Rogelio NORES is a very boring person. He's never tried a drug in his life. He doesn't even know what they are. He don't know nothing, okay? He's a pretty boring person. You see, yesterday, TLEF, which is the Argentinian network, released some very interesting information about the messages between Rogelio Roger NORES and Liam Payne. And in these messages, you can clearly see not only was he well aware of his friend's substance abuse, but he was facilitating it. And these were messages that were revealed in the media by the Argentina network. TLEF proves that Roger NORES, according to the prosecutor's office, was facilitating Liam Payne drugs based on the conversation. But did they mention that in TMZ? No. Roger NORES will have you believe and I've never done drugs, that I don't even know what the fuck they are. What are drugs? What are drugs, right? That's what he'll have you believe. Okay, he likes to play stupid, but did TMZ report that? No, they didn't. TMZ, why didn't you report that? What happened? Okay, let's read this. Liam Payne at about 9:06 p.m. We need to meet someone. What about your friend who took me to the embassy? Roger NORES responds at about 9:07 p.m. There are some restaurants and clubs. Those are your best options. So here they were trying to figure out how to get substance. 9:07 p.m. Liam says, okay, I just need a reliable number. October the 14th, Liam at about 9:26 a.m. says, could you do me a big favor and leave my card and the clonazepam at the front desk? Okay, time out. Let's stop right here. Clonazepam is not citrulline. We were told that he was taking citrulline, that it was an antidepressant found in his system, similar to Zoloft, right? Like same thing, right? In this message, according to these screenshots, okay, Liam is basically asking Rogelio NORES to do him a favor, okay, to leave his car and his clonazepam at reception. So now we're introducing a new drug, okay, and my understanding that wasn't even in his system. So how did he get a hold of the clonazepam? Who gave him that? It's interesting. Let's keep reviewing. At about 8:07 p.m., Liam says, I need a dealer here, haha. At about 10:27 p.m., do you have the Uber? Roger responds at about 10:40 p.m., I have, but you can't go there. It's too dangerous. Find another guy if you can. Ask the hotel. Roger knew that Liam was looking for dealers, right? Like he was aware that his friend was taking medication, looking for dealers, and telling, him, hey, just look for another guy. Okay. On October the 16th, which is the day that Liam died, at about 7:03 a.m., Liam says, man, I think I'm going to hook up with a hooker. At about 8:35 p.m., Roger says he's coming with cookies in Fa. At about 9:31 a.m., Roger says, Diogenes is sending a drop with those things. The kid who went with you to the embassy. So a kid named Diogenes is sending a drop with those things. The kid that went with you to the embassy. Oh, to me, that sounds like Rogelio NORES is managing, facilitating, making sure that he is getting the things that he needs. Okay. Like he's also facilitating these dealers for him. All right. At about 9:32 a.m., Liam says, will he be able to get 6 grams? And by the way, when Roger says at about 8:35 a.m. he's coming with the cookies and 5. Cookies can also be interpreted as drugs, all right? Now let me show you a very interesting clip that I was also sent, okay? Now, you know that the fans were all over taking footage of Liam Payne at that time, right? Well, this is interesting footage that if you slow it down, you see Liam Payne here, right? Kind of walking up, okay? Greeting everybody. But there's an interesting catch in this thing, and I'm gonna slow it down right there. It almost looks like Roger gives Liam something by hand. Hold up. Now let's slow that down and play that one more time. So even though Roger's like, I was kind of boring, I like to read books. I'm adding more to this. I'm sure he didn't say he likes to read books, but I'm a boring kind of guy. I didn't party. I was the opposite of Liam Payne. He facilitated something here. As much as he wants to deny, he facilitated this man's demise. He did. Okay? Nice try, TMZ. Nice try. Let's keep digging into your inconsistencies and reporting.
So here's some images of BRAIAN PAIZ.
That's Brian entering the hotel with Liam.
Okay.
Prosecutors are going after Brian for supplying narcotics to Liam.
As they should, in my opinion.
My name is Brian. I'm 24 years old, and I met Liam at my restaurant. They say I'm the dealer, that I carried drugs, that I sold them, and the truth is that no, I didn't sell them.
You know what the prosecutor has? They have on file photos of conversations between Brian and Liam where Brian is sending pictures of white powdery substance pics to Liam. Like, I don't believe anything that he says whatsoever, which, by the way, I had a privacy complaint filed on my video yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was this clown, if not someone else that doesn't want the truth to be told, and it's going to stay up. Unless YouTube tells me I got to take it down, the video will stay up.
TMZ has seen text exchanges from official documents, which make it very clear that Brian brought 3 grams of cocaine to Liam's hotel.
So there's been messages. By the way, there's been pictures. This is what Ifon Bay had also reported, and other sources.
Brian even sent photos of the white powder, according to prosecutors.
Did you use drugs with Liam the first night you met him?
Yeah, there was.
Look at this shit, right? Brian PAIZ had said that he had only smoked marijuana and that Liam was using cocaine. I had already showed this before, and I told y'all, here he denies that, and then he doubles down and says that Liam had offered him his Rolex watch. This guy is so full of shit. Like, you cannot believe anything that he says. Yeah, and we will continue to expose him for that.
What drugs did you use?
There was cocaine. Like, there wasn't even a lot of it. But we had some with the whiskey.
Yes, was it cocaine the first night or the second night?
The second night, too. The second night. Yeah, I didn't even accept his money. Nothing. He wanted to give me his Rolex. I didn't accept it. I didn't accept anything.
So wait a minute, Brian, because you said he wanted to give you his clothes. That's what you said. What happened?
Oh, and by the way, I realized that the audio is a little funky on this video because my mic wasn't connected. Sorry, it was a rookie mistake. Okay, I get it. However, this clip right here, I guess TMZ found Ezequiel Pereira and they try to interview him with their backwards translators. They really had shitty translators, the way they were translating with Brian PAIZ. Well, Ezequiel's like, listen, I don't speak the language. Like, I don't speak English. Let me be. Which is so interesting, right? Because Liam Payne doesn't speak Spanish, right? And I will say this about Brian PAIZ. He pointed something out that I kind of have to agree with out of all the, crazy crap that he's pointed out that I feel like has been just bullshit, right? Brian PAIZ pointed out how he felt like there was another person that was messaging him, to get him to meet with Liam. Who could that other person have been? I don't think Liam knew Spanish to have been able to communicate date, time of meeting, where they were going to go, what they were going to do, and stuff like that. Are we sure that Rogelio and Brian PAIZ didn't really know each other like that? I don't know. I don't put anything past anybody at this point when it comes to this.
We found him in a sketchy area of Buenos Aires, but he was in no mood to talk.
Hi, I'm sorry, I don't speak English.
He said, I'm sorry, I don't speak English. They really went out. They went looking for him. He's like, I don't speak English, so go over there. And then you guys are using these really weird translators, not even translating the language the way that it needs to be.
Now, listen, I need you guys to sit down for this one. And I know I'm just kind of throwing at different things at you guys as to how were dispelling this whole docutrash-menery, okay, from TMZ, all right? Sit down for this one. This is a very short clip, all right? Let's talk about this Rolex watch. My understanding, this Rolex watch, the prostitutes at one point, Liam Payne had offered them the Rolex watch. You have BRAIAN, who basically said that he was offered this Rolex watch, I would think, on October the 16th, all right? That's what I'm thinking, that it went missing around that time. But if you pay attention to TMZ's timeline of events, this is what they say about this Rolex watch.
11:30 a.m., two escorts show up to Liam's room. They told prosecutors they had sex with him. And when they asked for their payment of $5,000, Liam didn't have the cash.
He became enraged, punching the TV 3 times and destroying his Rolex.
So now the Rolex watch was destroyed and broken? That's interesting. So not only is this Rolex watch missing, we know that it's destroyed or broken now. Like, how do we know? Because my thought is the prostitutes were offered this watch, but according to them, it has not been found. They don't know where it's at. Nobody knows where this Rolex watch is at. But TMZ has now inserted the narrative that this Rolex watch was destroyed when Liam Payne broke the TV. I don't know. I'm telling you, it's like one thing after another. Now, for the next part, I need y'all to sit down for this, okay? Sit down.
We're going to watch TMZ's theory here in a little bit, okay? Listen to what the theory is and how crazy this situation is.
He put on a hat, strapped his bag to his shoulder, and then took a leather bag and dropped it to the second floor balcony.
Let me show you guys the balcony.
The balcony to the ground to escape. He put on a hat, strapped his bag to his shoulder, and then took a leather bag and dropped it to the second floor balcony.
You see that balcony? Okay, y'all see that balcony right there? I guess that's the second floor with where the bag, I guess, landed or whatever. I want to make sure we are talking about the same balcony. Casa Sur. Let's talk about these balconies over here, okay? I'm going to pull some pictures here of this balcony. All right, so the balcony, at least what we have been shown, the Payne, the balcony looks a little like what? Like this? Let me share with you guys. Y'all see that balcony, right? Okay, the railing is like metal. Y'all see that? These are metal. There's metal railings all over, right? Okay, the little cement border right there. Everybody sees that? Let me know. All right, so let's go back to TMZ's theory of the situation. Hopefully you guys saw that big picture that I had there. My point of this is to say that, and let's see if we can zoom in. The balcony is like a metal bar, all right? That's what the balcony is for the various floors. That's what my point of this is, okay? Y'all can see it. It's black metal. Okay, let's go back to the TMZ doc real quick, and they're showing us what the balcony looked like, or at least what they looked like at that time.
There's little doubt he was trying to scale down the third floor balcony to the ground to escape. He put on a hat, strapped his bag to his shoulder, and then took a leather bag and dropped it to the second floor balcony.
Okay.
All of this shows Liam thought he could get from the third floor balcony to the...
All right, so they showed us that little screenshot, and there's a reason why I'm going back, because I need to show you guys something. They show us a little screenshot of the third to the second balcony. Y'all saw that, right? But look at the balcony. Look at how the bars look like specifically.
And then took a leather bag and dropped it to the second floor balcony. All of this shows Liam thought he could get from the third floor balcony to the second.
Perfect.
And then jumped to the ground.
Okay.
But he lost his grip and fell to his death.
And there's also this. We have obtained these police photos showing what appears to be fingerprints slipping toward the edge of the railing.
So let me go back a little bit because I want to understand what this guy is saying here. All right. We have been shown pictures of what these balconies look like. I just showed you one. Okay. The railing. Now I'm looking at the cement. I don't know what you guys would consider the railing, because I'm thinking the railing would be the metal bars, the black metal bars, right? That if he fell down and he, for whatever, was conscious, right? Because if you're unconscious, you're falling down, you don't even get a hold of anything. Unconscious people Would they wake up to get a hold of something, or would they just fall? Okay, keep this in mind. The railings here are metal, black, brown. Why aren't there fingerprints there? Are you talking about this little cement bar on the bottom? TMZ is saying that they have a copy of fingerprints, or at least they were made aware of fingerprints on the railing, okay?
And there's also this. We have obtained these police photos showing.
What? So he got a hold of that? Like, what? Where is this bar from? There's no way that this bar is the same bar that the same railing as the hotels. There's no way that the railings are the same. These are two different railings. I feel like there's like I'm being gaslit here. Okay, if he's unconscious, how did he got a hold of that and then fell, or did he get a hold of that to grip on it before he fell? Was he aware that he was falling? But there's no defense wounds. There's no nothing. This is what they said. They didn't fight back, based on how they described the fall. So how does this work? How does this work here? Let me hit play.
Showing what appears to be fingerprints slipping toward the edge of the railing.
Fingerprints, but they're not even telling us. Are they Liam fingerprints? Are they Liam's fingerprints, or whose fingerprints? They could be anybody's fingerprints. And where did this railing? Where's this railing at? Is that the cement part of the railing? So then he was unconscious and he says, "Oh, I'm going to grab onto that railing and then fall." This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And I am done with TMZ and other outlets gaslighting us. You know why they didn't release this in the UK is because they didn't want those fans over there to watch this. Crazy as AF, okay? Do me a favor and share this video and hit the like button, because I'm telling you that this is the stuff that's getting suppressed in the algorithm. People don't want people to know what other people are finding, okay? Now, one of the things that I found weird was that they have this like Forbes commentator, correspondence person, whatever, and he had a lot to say about how people are blaming different people and whatnot when ultimately it's Liam's responsibility. Forbes participated in this documentary. Fox is part of this documentary and whatnot. I mean, I find it so interesting because Forbes did an article on Rogelio Nores. There's some affiliations here, y'all. There really are, okay? How convenient that Rogelio Nores comes out here and, gives his piece in his situation and then says, oh, let me bring all the people together that can give commentary about this. They're not even showing us. These are people that have copies of case files and the Argentinian files, right? They have access to these records. Why aren't they showing us all the text messages between the hotel staff, okay, with Rogelio Nores? Why aren't you guys showing this? Why isn't Kate Cassidy being interviewed for this? You guys bring Maya Hendry to give a little segment of this and commentary, basically an old video where she's disparaging Liam Payne's character. Y'all bring that in there to tarnish this man's character. It wasn't enough that you release photos of this man's dead body. It wasn't enough for that. No. You also had to bring the ex-girlfriend and bring in that feud and whatever happened there over to here, along with some other folks. You also had Brian PAIZ, who basically said here in this documentary, guys, I'm not the murderer. Okay, I'm not this murderous monster. I'm also a victim. A victim of what exactly? Oh man, what a circus. And this is the kind of stuff that y'all want me not to talk about and y'all want to censor me on. Yeah, keep trying it. Keep trying it. That's the last thing you could do is to tell me to stop talking about something that is laying heavy in my heart, that's telling me there's something more to this. And then being passionate about bringing justice and awareness to a situation is very important. But then you guys are really working hard to try to silence that. That's interesting. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now.